For this episode, we're going to look at the Spanish red grape Garnacha and the tiny region of Calatayud, which is located midway between Barcelona and Madrid. It's hilly, it's rugged, and it's an environment where the Garnacha grape really thrives. So this region is extremely continental. It has a lot of very dry, arid areas. It has a lot of altitude. Some of the vineyards go as high as 800 meters, which is around 2,500 feet above sea level. And that's really good because it allows a grape like Grenache, which is quite a warm climate grape, to have colder nights. And those colder nights, the diurnal variation, the difference between the daytime temperature and the nighttime temperature, creates a lot more balance in the wine and doesn't allow it to be too dominated by high alcohol and sort of big, rich, jammy flavors. A couple of things immediately stand out when you see a Garnacha vine. Firstly, it's growing as a bush vine, so it's a single tree. It's not supported by any kind of trellising like you would see in New Zealand. Also, the vines are very old. The oldest ones in the area range well over in excess of 100 years old. Typically, they're at least 40 to 60 years old, so you see quite gnarly trunks and a little bit of fruit rather than large crops on them. The other thing is that the soils they grow in are typically very rocky. Lots of small stones, can be a combination with some clays. This also aids the ripening of the grapes because the ground heats up as the sun gets on it and keeps warmth around the vine. Clay soils are also quite useful because they tend to retain a lot of water, so this area doesn't get a lot of rain apart from the odd thunderstorm in the summer, but it does get quite a lot of winter rain. So in the winter the rain falls, the clays absorb all this water, and then the vine draws it out over the summer because with the vine age they're so old, they have a very extensive root network which allows them to tap into those resources of water to get them through the really hot growing season. The area where the grapes for this wine come from is absolutely amazing to drive over. It's a total moonscape. You are going over ridges and hills and down into little valleys, and you see little pockets, as you can see behind me, little pockets of vineyard and little areas of olives and vast areas of absolutely nothing where nothing's grown. Very hot in the daytime. As I said earlier, it does tend to get a little bit cooler at night because of the altitude, but it's just the most phenomenal landscape. All these features that we've talked about combine to create a wine that is rich in fruit, has lots of depth and body, and Garnacha is what we call a big warm blanket of a wine. It's a great wine for sipping by the fire on a cold winter's night because it just invokes the warmth of the area where it's been produced. Now that brings us to the end of our segment on Calatayud and its fantastic red grape, Garnacha. If you want to buy our Grenache or any of our wines, go to our website, redbridgeonline.co.nz.